Oh, there I am. At first, it was just a black screen, but now you see it's my face. Guess what I'm wearing? My same nap dress, but this time I put a shirt underneath it. So I'm wearing it again. I love it. This thing. This thing with this face. This is what's happening. It's a lot of red lipstick. I slept with pillow top curlers, and now my hair is very curly, kind of frizzy. This is what we're going with. This is what we're living with. This is what we're doing. Happy Monday night. I'm so excited to talk to you all about 90 Day Fiancé, Happy Ever After, Happily Ever After. It's season 7. Um, this is episode oh, 13, Lucky 13. Can't fight this feeling. Honey, they can't fight this feeling anymore that they can't fight this feeling that they are making horrible choices for themselves, really, really bad decisions that are going to haunt themselves for the rest of their lives. And like, because can't fight this feeling is like the kind of title that you would have before getting married. Like you've already said you can't fight it, and that's why you're married now. If you're happily ever after, or even if you're after, can't fight this feeling that what you should divorce. Can't fight this feeling that you made a bad choice and you have to remedy it. I don't know what can't fight this feeling truly is, like who that's supposed to be. However, I didn't watch Endless at all. I'm laughing because it's like that dress again. Where'd you get it? I know, but this time slightly different. Scottish chic, absolutely. I love you guys so much. Hill House. It's the Hill House nap dress, Ellie nap dress, and Christmas tartan. So it's very Scottish, as you guys can see. And I love you guys so much. How's my ankle? Much better. Much better. It's now black and blue. And I didn't go to Disneyland, obviously. Didn't make it. I don't know if that was obvious, but I didn't make it because even though if you guys were there when they said, "Oh, just go to Disneyland and just get a motorized scooter and you can go on all the rides or whatever without waiting in line," what they also like failed to think about is how the hell would I even get from my car to the front of Disneyland or the Disneyland scooter shop? I can't walk. Couldn't walk. Now much better. I've been like icing and elevating and taking things for it. So thank you so much for asking. If you haven't yet, please like this video. Please, like tell the algorithm that you're enjoying what's happening. And we're going to get in and talk about these peeps minus the peeps we don't talk about, which is Ed and Liz and Angela and Michael. And since Jenny and Sumit were not on this episode, we can't talk about them. Actually, no, wait. Is it Jenny and Sumit that weren't on this episode? Yeah, Jenny and Sumit. Okay. Not on this episode. Okay. Hi. Okay, so let's start with let me go down. Let's start with Bilal and Shida. So, after like the disastrous first night in New York, and I felt so bad again because Shida was so excited to like be in New York, like traipsing down Broadway and just like living her fashionable life and like going to like a fancy restaurant. She was so excited, and then it like goes horribly. And it goes horribly because she's married to someone who like is unable to see her point of view and why it's important, or and also she's unable to like show him that. So it's like, so we've seen a lot of Shy reaching out for people to help her deal with Bilal. Mostly because she's in America, it's always like Bilal's family. Like it always felt a little awkward every time she would like try and talk to Bilal's sister or Bilal's mom about Bilal, because I remember like the first time it happened, it was a really funny meme that someone put on Twitter, like, "Girl, like you don't go talk to the enemy's sides about all your tricks and challenges, like you just like they're not on your side. Those aren't your people. Those are very much his people that love him, that think that he's the moon and sun, like rise on that person, so I also feel like It's hard when it's this is what's interesting. It's very obvious to me that Shy has not told Utris enough positive things about Bilal to weigh the negatives. Now we know what the negatives are, right? Because we watch it. I'm saying like, but we sometimes think that maybe Shy like has a whole other side that we don't see. And there is kind of that thing where when you are with someone and you're like talking to your loved ones about the person you're with, sometimes you can complain for sure. And so the things that you say mostly about them are negative. That's always like a trope you have to like try not to fall into, because the flip side of that is what? Like talking about how great your partner is to other people, so much so that it's like, all right, great, you're in a great loving relationship. You stop telling us about every great morsel, like, I don't know, whatever. So, but at the same time, it's obvious that like Utris did not soften the blow of the things she wanted to talk to Bilal about by perhaps like ensconcing her viewpoints with some compliments, you know? You know, Shy has been saying how comfortable your family has made her feel in America, which is like so great to hear as her best friend because I don't get to like spend so much time with her. And, like I know that she's in a new place and it could feel really awkward. I know what that's like too. And so it makes me feel really great to know that your family has been so warm and loving. I mean, I'm just saying you could say that. I mean, like if you wanted to like say something good before you say the bad things. But she didn't even say that mostly because I'm sure what Shy has told her is that like he has an ex-wife who's a bananas crazy woman, very hostile towards me. You know how Shy feels. So, um, like she tries to tell Utris that Utris had a little bit of a barking style energy to her while still also hearing Utris be like, I want an apology because of how he made me feel and the words he used. And then Shy having to literally like bite her lip, being like, you're never gonna get him to apologize ever. Um, Utris point blank asks Shy if Bilal frequently turns things around in conversation in such a way or stops healthy communication in such a way that makes Shy feel awkward or put upon. And Shy answers with, you asked me a tricky question there, girl. I mean, I can't do that accent or whatever. A tricky question there, girl. And sort of like bats her eyes and like blushes. Uterus feels like such a very strong-minded woman, and whether she is 100% of that all the time or whether that's also coming out in a protective mode for her friend, you know what I'm saying? We're not quite sure. I know I made references to her energy in the first episode being frenetic and or like almost a little like well, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not saying she's on this, but to describe her energy, the first episode felt a little cokey because of her jaw movements, eye movements, and how like kind of frenetic, as I said. She didn't feel it that way that much more now, but as much as that she feels a little self conscious on camera. Maybe that's it. Not everyone's supposed to be on camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe she's doing, the producer's work right now, and so she feels the weight of like the producer's objectives and like a first time camera person. God bless the work she's doing. I hope she's getting paid a lot. I hope they put her up at a very fancy New York hotel for this and first class. I think she's coming in Atlantic flight. So, guess what? He wants an apology too. Ha 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 ha. Of course he does. He wants an apology from Uterus because Uterus is combative energy, like, and here's the thing, made him so he feels on edge. Now, in Bilal's mind, when questioned later after this shopping day was over, he recounts the conversation with Uterus as being like, Uterus being like, Bilal, I gotta ask you some questions whether you like it or not. And then him being like, well, Uterus, thank you so much for coming to this lavish dinner that I will definitely pay for at the end and give a 30% tip. Of course, I'm Bilal. Thank you so much for coming. How was your flight? But also, I will answer the questions fairly that I can without betraying the trust and security of my marriage, as you know. Thank you so much for understanding that. Proceed. You know what I'm saying? His version, his perception of his demeanor, of how he came off is skewed. And I think that hers is maybe also a little skewed. Like they both kind of like came in hot. You know what I'm saying? And both of them, well, especially him, thought that he came in not. By the way, Wa's here. Yay. Wa. She's making fun of my accent. I can still hear you miles away. Um, Yay, Liverpool lass. T. Jones, Uterus is too proud to apologize, just like Bilal. I mean, Joslo. The whole time they were shopping and going through those racks of dresses and trying to carry on a competition, I was like, why don't you go to a coffee shop and talk? Yeah, and then that's a great point. On the podcast, I know Juan and I brought up like what were they I think this was Wa's point. What were they shopping for? Obviously, they went into a like small neighborhood sequin gown shop. Like the neighborhood cachet, honey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Remember that stop? Like there's just like the bedazzled gown store, just whenever you gotta like pick up a gown, you like go across or you buy your lottery ticket and just like there's the gown shop. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It didn't look like a Saks Fifth Avenue. But like, yeah, are they gonna like pop downstairs to the lobby of the Pierre and just like see what's popping in the ballroom later on, which would great. This is what you should do. Oh my God. New York right now. It's freezing, I'm sure. Oh, I would love to go. Oh, I just like, does anyone have any single bachelors that they know for me? A. But also in major metropolitan cities that I could live in, B. But also like what I really mean is like C. Los Angeles, Newport, New York. Where else could I live? I've never been to Dallas. I'm gonna go and see what Dallas is like. But I think I would have to, I mean, definitely not San Francisco. I kinda do like New Orleans, and I kinda like New England. That's it. Anyway, or San Diego. Okay, that's it. Anyway, but, I wanna go to New York. Did I make that clear? Anyway, God bless. So, so then, basically Shy is going between both her best friend and her like hubby trying to mend what happened last night, and he says he wants to have be apologized to, which is not going to happen. So they talk, Uterus and Bilal, and his even though he said he wanted an apology, it's crazy because his first line of defense, which is telling that he should even be defensive, is to be like, hey, oh, Uterus, I was just totally joking, which no, you weren't, and we've already said this, no one has a worse sense of humor than Bilal. I mean, my god, that person has not a sense of humor, not one funny bone. I mean, like, anything that he thinks is funny is horribly not funny. And I don't even think that, like I don't even know if he can even be, like, super funny even trying not to be. He's just doesn't that's not the part of him. That doesn't exist. It's not for him. So, like, ridiculous. Also, that like, yeah. So Uterus looks at him when he says that he was just joking in such a way, like, no, roll the tape. Do you have the tape? Roll the tape. He's so crazy also to not like want to talk about the things that Uterus wants to talk about, which is basically like why he's holding Shy's fertility hostage, knowing that it has an expiration date and not being straightforward about when he's planning on using it. Now, the funny thing is, Uterus somehow becomes really effective in this moment. I don't know if it's her nature, if it's the cameras, if it's that he's been dodging these questions for so long, or Shy couldn't ask them in such a way. But somehow, after all of this, Uterus does get information that is important out of Bilal. Chiefly two things: that the prenup language surrounding Bilal's commitment to Shy's yoga work in his mind is the vague word business, that he said that he would help her business. And that in his mind, yeah, that's like a website, some like materials, like you can, I'm gonna go to Kinko's, I'm gonna get like some like flyers printed. For some reason, he says out loud and on camera, which is even worse, to her best friend that he never meant to help her like rent a studio. Chiefly the biggest cost, the most necessary biggest cost of running a business. And it really goes to show you how important it is in contracts to really get everything spelled out, because like if that's we never got to see what the prenup said, right? And we had been thinking that there was a possibility that Shy was using some vague language, sorry, but specifically in talking about her kids, like, and whether she wants kids. Like, we knew that she didn't nail it down of when month and or date wise she would like to start trying. Besides saying before all she said is before 40. But as you realize, that wasn't right, because she only gets like 5% effective rate of her eggs working at 40. So obviously it has to be before then. She didn't hammer that out. But now we also realize that whatever clause she has about the yoga thing, like, it is not specific. And he thinks that he's just going to pay her GoDaddy.com WordPress fee, Square site fee, and Kinko's fee, FedEx Kinko's. That's what he thinks he's going to pay for. You know how much that is? It's like $50 a month. He thinks that he's going to pay $50 a month, maybe a one-time fee of like 500 as things get whatever kicked off or whatever. That's it. I, he has the audacity to say that. You know why I just like will always, it's just that if you are going to pretend to be rich, if you're going to cosplay being rich, and we all know what I mean, like, we know what cosplaying, we know what being rich looks like. You either have a bunch of money, you don't fucking talk about it, or you have like designer suits and flashy this and handkerchief that and the cufflinks this and designer luggage that. There's nothing, I think, also just like, there is nothing, I think, less important than designer luggage. Because as we know, unless you are flying private, your luggage is going to be thrown across the peasants. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I mean, like, why would you pay like $20,000 for pieces that are going to be thrown in cargo planes, like, and then come out on a conveyor belt? Like, and what I'm saying is, if you fly private, of course that doesn't happen, right? And that's a different thing. Then sure, then fine. This is a different echelon. And Bilal's not flying private. He's not. He's not, he's not, because he drives a C class. Fine. My God, yes. I'm not like, like, he is comfortably financially secure for the rest of his life. Probably not one of the reasons why he wants to have kids, because he's already factored in the fact that he already has two kids in their college educations. But one other thing that also happens during this conversation with Uterus is then he says, I've always maintained I want to have more kids. So now Uterus has gotten that statement to come out on camera, which he's never said that. He said he loves his kids, but he never said he wanted to have more kids and that he always said that he wanted to maintain he had more kids because the way that he has his foot down. Anyway, God bless. So all I'm saying is this: if you are going to have designer luggage, which makes you feel like you think that $20,000 is nothing, because you have to replace that shit because you are flying first class, and even though it says priority, it's being thrown onto conveyor belts and marked with every black wheel of every other to me that's whatever, that's just what it is. Like, that's what flying commercial is. We all know what that is. I've never flown private my whole life. I don't have designer luggage. It's the reason why this person has like the suits, stuff like that. Like, that definitely feels like you want to play at a certain status. So everything that would have to align. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, luggage don't have first class. You're right. First class on commercial has priority, but not even then, and they're all together. So all the priority says is that maybe yours will come out first, but it's all grouped together and thrown in such a way, on top of each other that like the markings of, you know, the dirt and everything. Like, I'm someone who one time I have cream colored luggage. I'm dumb. I wanted it, but it's not very expensive. But I had that, like, you can look it up on Amazon. Maybe I should put in my Amazon shop, the Delsey kind or whatever. Super cute. They're like pricey-esque, but like 300, 300 to 500 for each piece or whatever. God bless. What I'm saying is not like LV, okay? There is no, it's just why does it irk me to my core that he has that luggage? It's because he can't afford it. And if he could afford it, then the rent for a yoga studio would be nothing. That's what I'm saying. Don't have LV luggage and then try and sneak your way out of like you supporting your wife's business when she moved to the country that she was never in to marry you and wants to flourish here in this brand new country that's now hers because of you. And you're gonna like quabble over whether you're gonna like pay her lease, and you have lived luggage. That's what, what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna like make someone spend money unless what you're throwing at me is like how much money you have. Then I'll be like, well, then spend your money right. Take care of your wife. It's for business. Money begets money. That's where you should be spending your money first. The LV luggage comes after like you have multiple businesses and you're doing like so goddamn well. Also, again, the LV luggage should come when you are flying again private. Oh God. She could even use a shared space, split rent. Great idea. Great idea. Like, what if there was someone in town doing Reiki healing, meditation work, chanting, another yoga teacher? I mean, an existing yoga studio that like, like she should take over something or try and like merge businesses with someone or like get someone else on board that's in the like Kansas City wellness scene, or see if she can rent a shop in a health food store or the back of like I said, like some place that like maybe like is next to a smoothie shop, acai bowl or green juice place, like those are the places you should do it, you know. Great point. Okay. Okay, what was I say? I keep hoping he's playing a character, because if that's who he really is, I feel really sad for Shy. He's abusive and horrible. Yeah. Do a pop-up. Use a 90-day fame. Oh, for sure. I want interesting because she can't use all the 90-day like verbiage though. I wonder what she could use. I don't know. I've been sitting here this whole time trying to think of a really fun yoga pun. 90-day namaste. 90-day namaste. Namaste. It's, yeah, 90-day namaste. A 90, you know what? Fuck Shy. That's what I'm gonna do. 90-day namaste, and it's a like 90-day themed yoga flow meditation. You guys, when someone uses that and like it becomes real big and famous, you just remember where you heard it first. Um, Here's to the thief that steals Bilal's bag and opens it and only contains a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yeah, I know he locks it. I feel like he puts little locks on it. I mean, whether the like federal FSA, F, if it's federal security travel, FTA travel, yeah, okay, the FTA lock, they have those. That took me a long time to get to. You know why? Because I kept getting it confused with TSA, which is exactly what I wanted to say. So, thank you. I got it. Okay, so let's move on. After like Uterus and Below talk, he lets it be known that he's always wanted to have kids. Can't wait to have more kids. That's what he's been saying, honey. You haven't heard that? If one message that Bilal has been meaning to make crystal clear is that he wants more kids, he can't wait to have them. He's Bilal, honey. He's gonna have a bunch of more kids. Bilal loves kids. Okay, let it be known. Also, yeah, he's gonna give her like $5 for that business, honey. He doesn't give a shit. And yeah, when he says he wants to like wait to have kids, he just wants to wait. And then it's like up to 3 years, but it's like waiting is like, like it's kind of like up to 3 years, like maybe like 2 years. Want to wait like a year and a half to 2 years to 3 years, like somewhere in that realm, like it's just like a little bit of waiting. It's not all the waiting that she's been saying. Like Uterus gets specifics from this man. I mean, in a way that is like very commendable because for some reason no one else can. And I almost want to know like if his mom and sister watching the scene, if they are also impressed. It must be hard. At one point he tells Uterus, once there's a once there's a child there, no one can take it back. Which I always like, I wish that someone would be like, "Oh, wait, say that again." And you make him say it again. Once there's a child there, you can't take it back. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Bilal, for saying that because honey, I thought they had like a Nordstrom return policy for them. No, I thought you could just without a receipt, just, you know, as long as it's like in working condition, just kind of like bring it back and be like, it didn't work. No? Oh God, thank you for telling me that. No, thank you so much for like making that crystal clear. Like, thank you for going through and explaining that. I wouldn't have known. No, no. Okay. Yeah, this is why we look to you, Bilal, for like all the wisdom in the world. Because me, just like dumb uterus, just like flying back and forth on transcontinental flights, with normal luggage, that makes sense. Normal luggage that's like, not gonna like cost me an arm and a leg when it gets like ruined after the third trip because like I'm spending my money on absolute nonsense. Someday I hope to find a man, Bilal, as great and wise as you to then maybe have kids with. We'll see, because again, as you say, once you have them, you can't take them back. And I mean, my God, if you can't take them back, why would anyone want one? But you say you do. What a God, what an angel you are. God bless. Marsha! Oh, that's so sweet. I love this dress. I'm not getting paid for loving this dress. Where is it? Wait. Shy's yoga studio. I married a downward facing dog. Thank you, Lisa. Huh. Oh God. Have you ever had the experience of wanting something to work out a certain way, in this case, Shida wanting to get pregnant, only to be so grateful later on when what you didn't want didn't happen. Yeah, yes, I did. Yes, yes, of course. And God bless. I want every marriage to last, like truly, like it's not that I don't want marriages to last, but like if Shy and Bilal break up in the next couple of months, obviously it'd be really great for Shy that she didn't have this kid because then she'd be stuck with him, having to co-parent with him. And don't give me like anything about like, oh, then Shy would have like child support or whatever. I don't care. Like I don't think that like that's not the way I want to live my life, is being beholden to someone that you don't want to be with, or like whatever. I you know that's the reason why I low key said last live that as much as I would like Shy to freeze her eggs, uh, I'm sorry, I want Shy to freeze her eggs. That's what I wanted to say. I want Shy to freeze some eggs as well as like whatever she's going to freeze, like embryos wise. Because if she was to freeze embryos right now, obviously the sperm would be from Bilal. But there's something nice about just having some of your extra eggies frozen, not betrothed already to some man, DNA wise. Uh, God bless. Oh, my ankle is still not the best. It's better, but like it doesn't look great. Did you do Disneyland wheelchair fun? No, my love. Yeah, no, I couldn't even, I wouldn't have been able to make it like outside of my car, like walk from Disney parking and friends to even the front of the, it was painful. So, um, basically, at the end of this conversation, she really pinpoints him to say that, listen, he wants to have kids. He wants to wait basically like a year and a half, But if in 6 to 7 months, if she was to get pregnant magically, or by the way that people get pregnant, that he would be happy. He says, inshallah, God willing, well, whatever, God bless. God bless, it would happen. And Uterus is like, which goes click clocking in Uterus's brain to be like, all right, all she has to do, honey, is just not take the birth control pills. And I agreed. Brilliant. If Shy is the one that is physically stopping herself from having this man's baby by putting her body on medication that changes the natural flow of her body to appease this man, and he is doing absolutely nothing that hampers his life for his goal to be achieved, then that's fine if that birth control somehow falters. If it's really that important to you for you not to have kids. Now, whether he has the vasectomy, God bless. It's interesting. It was the whole like, has he had a vasectomy or not thing is so interesting. Because it's like, when would he have gotten the vasectomy? Did he get, is the vasectomy conspiracy said to have happened while he was still married to Shahida? Like right after his last kids? Or was the vasectomy something that happened to him after his first, or after the divorce from Shahida, as like a way for him to, prevent sowing of any oats during any of his like single years? You know, yeah. Oh, that's just a thought. He'll be mean to the baby and make her do everything. He'll be mean to the baby? I can't be mean to a baby. Not on my watch, honey. Can't be mean to a baby. That baby's gonna be like, I feel like that baby will make him feel dumb. I wonder what he's like with babies. I feel like he has like no interest in them. He's. But he has a good relationship with his kids, or feels that way. I mean, but what are we even saying? He does feel manufactured and staged. His kids seem when they had their confessionals of last season, and they haven't been on at all this season, by the way, right? Have we seen his kids really at all this season? Anyway, they seem like very normal, cool people. So somehow that worked out, you know? And the last point is when Bilal also remarks that, wow, after this conversation he had with Uterus, wow, becomes obvious that Shy is telling Uterus everything. And basically, everything that Uterus knows is what we know, which is what you have put on this TV show, which is what we all know. Also, that's what girls do. We talk. Yeah, that's what girls do. She's her best friend. She knows everything. She knows everything about you, things you wouldn't even know. Like what she knows what the way that you snore at night, what it sounds like. And I'm not just saying because like ha ha ha, like Shy like did a really funny impression one time and I know what it sounds like. I mean, one time Shy recorded it and she sent it to me. I have a voice note of it. Girls be sharing shit. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Especially Shy. I feel like Shy has a lot of girlfriends. Shy feels to me like a girl's girl, has all her birdies everywhere, has the group texts. Shy hasn't been working, like she can't wash chicken all day, So Shy's just been like, Shy sends a bunch of shit all day long. Like you get a bunch of like meme picture. If like you're on Shy's like text, you get memes, like you get pictures, like quotes, like roomy quotes and stuff like that. Like, and you have to like every time you get one, you like know you have to like either like heart it or like give it a thumbs up. So like it's not like you didn't like it. Um, I have never heard myself snore. That's crazy. You have to. You have to know every part of yourself. Um Yara and Jovi. You know what's so funny? I guess I've talked about one couple so far, and we're going 37, 37 into this thing. So there's no rhyme or reason for why I'll talk about a couple longer than other because I basically don't even want to talk about Yara and Jovi. Like I don't care about them. They're driving to Germany. They're driving to Germany because her best friend Katerina or something like that. God bless. Just yeah. So this is they're not there yet. So why it's like important but not important. They're driving there because she's like a refugee from like Ukraine, right? And Russia's like invading Ukraine. So she just came from Kiev. So like with like the clothes on her back or whatever. And so she's now in this part of Germany and they're gonna meet up with her. And like I don't know why Jovi has a friend there at all. Okay. This is the same guy that was there last episode. I don't even remember hearing his name last episode. I refer to him as like strong jawed friend. Okay, a strong jawed friend. Okay. But this episode, they make us know that his name is Talmadge. So Talmadge is his name, which I have never in my life heard that name as like a first name Talmadge. Talmadge to me sounds like a town in America in like like New England, Talmadge. Or maybe like the mid or like the west, like maybe it's I don't know, but like if there was like Wisconsin cheese that was like Talmadge cheese, like kind of like Tillamook or like Talmadge, like I'd be like I would get it. Like it's a interesting first name for a man. Is Talmadge Southern? I have no idea. It's just like I guess it has to be because like anyone to be connected to Jovi's got to be Southern, right? I mean that's just simple Occam's razor, the simplest whatever like explanation tends to be the right one, you know. Um Prague is not a war zone. Oh yeah. No, I know. They're driving from Prague to Germany and that's where Katrina's, going to after leaving the Ukraine. So Basically, they're in the car, right? And it's like the Southern friend and Jovi in the front, and then just like, Dad, do you want to come say hi? No. Um, Yara in the back seat with her mom and then Mila, okay? And I mean, Mila, honey, is doing everything I want, which is just like, give me something to look at, okay? Yara is just like giving little chippies. Oh, it's not in here. Oh, do I have it? Is giving little. Oh, it's a different computer, I think I was on. Wait, I'm looking at something. Wait 1 second. I'm trying to find something. I thought I had something great. I don't. What computer did I use? Never mind. That was so sad for me. Okay. I thought I had the picture of you. But like she's like getting little chips and then she's like giving little chips to her mom, her grandmother. And she's just like so cute. I just like love looking at her. It's like the only thing I can do is just like look at her beautiful little face with like, her eyes, which is like, always seem just like mildly suspect of anything she looks at. And like it just feels like she's so entertaining. I feel like she's just like such a joy. I would just stare at her all day. I think she would like make me laugh. Okay. So basically, Yara starts talking about how she now is thinking about staying longer after Jovi's leaving because of the war and how she could help people here and doesn't make a difference anyway because Jovi isn't going to be around and this way she'll have her mom and her mom's in the back just like so happy like meanwhile Jovi like has like a secret hatred towards Olga just I guess for like talking Yara into shit. He really feels like Yara is easily manipulated. If it's not Yara's mom, it's like Yara's like, vapid friends that like manipulate her about wanting boob jobs or wanting to like move to Europe. Which that part's interesting only because it really does feel like Yara's a pretty headstrong person that like makes her own decisions. And like if Yara's gonna get boob job I'm sorry. If Yara's gonna get a boob job, it's not gonna be because of those women. It's gonna be because she wanted one, A, and B, was no stranger to plastic surgery. So you're not gonna tell me that like Yara was just like Mother Teresa eating around, and these like vapid shallow girls were like, look at that dumb flat girl who would never dream about getting any sort of work done. And Yara was like, really? Maybe you should consider for the first virgin time going under the knife. No, like Yara, God bless, has had like 14 nose jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like so many like lip fillers. God bless. I mean, it looked great. So what I'm saying is if Yara wanted a boob job, it was not those women that talked her into it. You know what I'm saying? If Yara wants to move to Europe, I don't think that she's been like not thinking about it, then goes and sees her mom and suddenly is like, this is what I've been thinking of the whole time. I don't even know if she really wants to. I think Yara, if she's like me, and I think we are similar, probably at some point wants to live in both Europe and America. Why wouldn't you? I want to be bi-coastal. You know how great it would be to have like a place in both places? And I'm not even from New York. My family's not in New York. You know what I'm saying? But I still would want to like have like a stronghold in one place and also a different place. If I had my whole life in a place and was living in a different place, it's not so far off to think that I would like to live in both places. Now, what is far off is to like make decisions in front of people that have to do with your whole family without like having it be a conversation with you, like your significant other slash the parent that you co-parent with. That part seems bananas, and like doesn't give Yara a good look. A lot of marriages take place over long periods of separation due to overseas work. It's a bit ethnocentric to think couples have to be attached to the hip all the time, too. Absolutely. That's true. So I think that, like, what I said is the crutch. What she's actually asking for is not like super crazy and I think makes sense for who she is. But what doesn't make sense, what is like not defensible defendable is that you would spring such a decision or talk about things without without having it be like you know a separate respected kind of like specific conversation with whose opinion matters, which is your significant other slash the parent of your child. But Yara's making it seem like she's just in Prague and suddenly is having these ideas and is suddenly making decisions and then just announcing it in front of her mom or whatever. And then, yeah, like it's weird because every time you talk to her mom, then Jovi gets upset because he can't understand. Meanwhile, like every time that also happens, I'm like reminded of like his dumbass remark, like, well, she better learn English. She wants to talk to me. Just coming back and slapping him in the goddamn ass, just like, if you were smart, you would spend a lot of time next time you're on that ship, honey, listening to some Ukrainian Duolingo exercises. That'd be the ultimate revenge. Is the next time you come back, you like, for some reason, like speak really good Ukrainian. You know exactly what Yara is saying to Olga. Because here's the thing, at some point, very soon, Mila and Yara are gonna have a whole ass secret ass language, Jovi. If you think it's bad right now with Yara and Olga, just wait till it's Yara and Mila, your own daughter, who looks just like you. Looking up at your eyes as she's just like Ukrainian jabbering to someone without you knowing one thing, just making fun of you. There'll be a lot of them going, Daddy, blah, 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 ooh, daddy, ooh, you know, and just like them saying you, like I'm being nice, they're calling you daddy, and then laughing at you with a bunch of Ukrainian words around the laughter. That's all you're gonna hear for the rest of your life, unless you learn it, you know. So just, I love that. Jovi is tedious and pigheaded. I know. I love Mila's upside down mouth. I love her face. I love her face. Yara hasn't seen her family in 2 years. Why rush back to be I mean, yeah. It's like I totally agree with you. It's like it's what has happened is it's not been laid right. So in the next scene, we're supposed to be like something happens where they kind of like ask Jovi if they can stay, and Olga starts crying, and which when Olga starts crying, Yara tries to use that as like, look, see, even my mom's crying, you know. But Jovi has had this whole trip to be like angry at Olga for like pretty much trying to talk his family into not coming back to America. So I don't know if those tears are going to like do the work they're supposed to do. Okay, so let's talk about Kimberly and Usman. So they got the blessing. What can you say? They got the blessing after all that. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know exactly how or why. I don't know, you know, what happened, how many more cows happened behind the scenes, honey, but, you know, the mom was like, "Okay, I guess just sign this doc, PDF, honey, this real PDF." Sorry. And, you know, gotta be done. So they do. They sign or whatever, and pretty much the sign is something like, um Usman will be going able to go back to Nigeria 4 times a year to see his family and or presumably get a second wife, have the kids, whatever it is. And that nothing that they had before could be given to the other if they break up, like land-wise. Kimberly's like, "Great. It's like a prenup? Okay." So Uh, they're, you know, like back at his house, and it's funny because we've seen his house like one time, I feel like, in previous seasons, and they never spend time at their house. It's always like obviously at places and hotels. And he's so excited because he's going to have Kimbali decorate his home, he says, with the awards that he's won. And later on, he's like, "Yeah, I want Kimberly to decorate because like women's work to decorate." It's like, okay, she okay. I don't understand. Is it 2 things? A, you have some awards you need whatever displayed. Also, you want her to decorate the house. Like, is she allowed to like go to like the local Home Goods, honey, and just like see what kind of like fun finds she can find to kind of like spruce up the place? He wants to like look around and see like her imprint in places. And it's funny because it would be like, oh, are you gonna see her imprint with pictures of her? Like, or you're just gonna see the imprint of her of where she decided to put your award on the counter. Ah, look, my award that Kimbali plays center stage for me. It makes me think of Kimbali when I look at that award that I won of me winning. Like, it's just such a he said it with like a straight face to decorate my place for my awards. He still has roommates. I don't know, my loves. So, one of the things that he has is a coronation certificate, which also is just like, what's that? Can we just like, can we, what the hell's that? And does Fahid have one too? Were you coordinated around the same time? That seems like I mean, and also what's happening with her? I want to see her face when it's decided that he is actually going to choose to make Kimberly his first wife, meaning that beautiful lady doesn't have a shot. I want to like see her face. And also like what is happening with her? Like when she said that she like kind of liked him, is that really true? And are you saying how is there no possible other suitors that are like respectable and like serious for this woman? Are you telling me not? She's come on. What else is happening in the village? Are there any other businessmen? I mean, only because it's like, okay, this is where I'm gonna get mean. Not mean, but how do I say this? Okay. Usman can't be the best catch in the village because even if he's like a little tiny bit famous, he isn't like financially super stable, right? I mean, I guess he has awards, but like you can't like awards, he still has roommates. If he was to get married, would he move out and have his own place? Would her family provide a space or would his family provide a space? Can she find a better suitor that is a little more financially stable for her? Because I wouldn't want Fahid to like move into like this room that Kimberly decorated with all of his awards and like the roommates are back from whatever vacation they're on, you know? I'm so annoyed at how excited Kimberly is at Usman using her as a sign of love. He let me decorate. Why are women conditioned to being used as free labor as a sign of love? Something that is interesting, and it's said later. Okay, so basically, Kim Bully is very excited that not that she got the blessing, but that basically what happens next. Not that she gets to decorate the house, but he ends up proposing to Kim Bully. Obviously, she had proposed to him the night before, and she had gotten the 2 rings. But he had said, like, he had, never seen a woman propose, and that he had enjoyed it because it means that she loves him so much, and he loves feeling her love, blah blah blue, blah blah blue. But at the same time, it didn't feel right, and so he proposed to her, got down on a knee, and to be like, I love you, Kim Bully. Okay, and that makes her feel really great. Makes her feel really, really, really great. But that moment makes her say that it makes her feel like he loves her as much as she loves him, which is not true. He does not love her as much as she loves him. In a like very, blase kind of like blunt way to say it. It's obvious, and just like wise women once said, it's always better to be like the one that loves the other one less in a relationship. And that's true. I think. I think it's true. I know it's archaic to say. I don't care. And I'm single. So you can tell me anything you want to tell me. You can say that like I'm wrong, and you can say that my mindset's blah blah blue this. And I can only tell you my truthful feelings of what's in my heart. I would much prefer to be in a relationship where I love that person a tiny bit differently or less than that person's utter devotion towards me. I still very much want to like this man. I want to love this man, and I want to be sexually into him, but I want to feel his love and worship of me hard. Subtly, but hard. Intensely, subtly, but there. A little more than I like feel mine of him. I don't think I can live being like obsessed being with someone and or obsessed with someone. Like I got to like go on throughout my day. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I want this person to be obsessed with me, but I just can't like be with someone and be someone's super fan, which is what Kimberly is. Which is why at the end of the day, Usman could never love Kimberly the way that Kimberly loves Usman, because Usman is not a fan of Kimberly. Kimberly doesn't have an Apple Music playlist that you can listen to at any time of like her tracks. She's not an artist. There hasn't been enough time that Kimberly's been playing in a dark space with, sexy lighting that you've seen her on stage and been like, wow. And those moments, those feelings of like infatuation and this person's cool and this person likes me, like those moments haven't happened. Conversely, the other way around. All this person's perception of you is, hey, I love you. Hey, I'm a big fan. Hi. No, I love you very much. I'm a big fan of yours. Hi, all the time. I think of you all day. That's, it's just totally different, like that's not what you're not going to get that energy from Usman from you. And him proposing, although lovely, what a lovely gesture, isn't that. But I mean, like, so it's funny to have her say that. Um, how can she possibly afford to fly him home 4 times a year? Cameo money? I don't know. I don't know. She works in the service industry, I think. I don't understand it, like maybe like is there free I've got is there free flights for vets? Maybe like I don't know, my love. I mean, Frontier at this point should be only just like free flights for vets, should be just like, just no one should pay to fly that. So basically, he gives her, and when he proposes, he makes it be known that it's a real diamond ring. It's not cubic zirconian, honey. It's a real diamond ring, honey. Real diamond. Uh, she loved it. She was so happy, like she wants to get the yummy right now. So guess what? So he still has the lawyer that he had to deal with. He knows, for baby girl Lisa, and so here comes the time for them to, just get like a lawyer's opinion about, starting their life together, another propose. They have everything in their ducks in the row. And they start to have a FaceTime with a lawyer. Now, I don't understand how this day and age, now we're like at least a year or two into COVID, that people truly don't know how to FaceTime. And I'll tell you, right now, I'm on a laptop, and the laptop is sitting on top of a shoebox. It's incredibly important. When you Zoom, do not, if you're on a laptop, just use your laptop without putting it on something that will give it height. Because then what happens is you get horrible angles, which I'm going to do for you. Shitballs. Horrible angles. Kimberly and Usman had a horrible angle, and the lawyer had a horrible angle. And I don't understand why you're going to be on TV or do any work doing something like this. This is it. I guess this is it, technically. My laptop is on the desk, and I have pushed the backing where the camera is back, so you have an angle like someone is laying on the ground doing an up shot at you. I mean, look how, I mean, nothing is doing anyone favors. No one. Hi. Hey guys. This is insane. It's insane. Like, I think the lawyer's insane for not for like having this be like what that person's giving. I mean, I guess you can tell me that maybe like Usman and Kimberly are not like professional FaceTimers, and maybe like they just didn't have an option. But at this point, it's like if you know you're going to FaceTime anyone, just think of angles, okay? And I'm sorry, it's just like I'm trying to help people, like when I harp about things like if I harp about eyebrows a lot, it's only that I want to help people live better lives, because I think that as you look back on pictures of yourself, you'll think, boy, why were my eyebrows like that? Oh, maybe I should have put a little more color on my lips. Or if like, think about if you're just looking at someone for like an hour, how they're looking at you, which is just I mean, look how much better. Look, I don't mean like look how much better I look. Mm-hmm. Just in the difference of those two moments. This is just me either talking to you guys not with a shoebox underneath my laptop or with a shoebox underneath my laptop. I mean, okay. So, I'm just saying, these are business tips, that lawyer is very, very intense. And, she gets to hear a whole bunch of crazy things. Like, she gets to hear from a person that already kind of should have asked a lot of these questions, because this person has been, like from a polygamist culture for a long time, and this person already tried to marry an American woman, but for some reason nothing was talked about the first time except that he got this lawyer. But then they informed the lawyer of all their plans. Well, honey, he can come back every four times a year, to visit his other wife and the other kids. And the lawyer's like, what? No. What? No. Here's what it is. When you're applying for a green card, you want to try and, how do I say this? Pretend that you are in love. So much in love that it would be hard for you to live apart. So much so that it would be so hard for you to live apart that you are petitioning the government to take on a new citizen so that you can be happy for the rest of your American life by pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, by being in love with the person that you can't live without. So what I can't do is be like, they can't live without each other, except he can live without her 4 times a year, and he's going to live without her 4 times a year. They're like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, and this other thing. Polygamy is illegal. They're like, oh yeah, like in America. They're like, yeah, for Americans. Yeah, in America. No. Polygamy is illegal for Americans. Okay, so yeah, Kimberly, then I won't get married to another person besides Sam. Yeah, okay. Here's the problem. It's illegal. And so we don't want you to do it. And if you do it, we're going to snatch your green card away, Usman. And Usman, like, did not think about that. Didn't know it to be a thing that could happen. Both of them are so dejected after this, because it really is one of those, like, narratives where, like, they had just won it, right? They had experienced such highs and lows together, a roller coaster, if you will, of this trip so far, of, like, fight, coming back together, like disastrous first meeting with the parents, like getting their shit back together, like he meets the young, beautiful one. He still wants to be with Kimberly. Like, it's, God bless, it all happened. And yeah, as it is, they've already sort of admitted on TV what their plans are. I wonder if they were like, oh, we should have just like never made that part of the storyline. We could have just, you just don't, you just like don't say anything. I mean, it's like, again, not to bring up sister wives, but that's all I know about polygamy, is that like there's spiritual unions and then there's like the legal unions, right? Like Cody Brown was only married to, Sorry, I thought I had a book in my nose. Cody Young was only married to Mary until he married Robin, and they divorced Mary to marry Robin, and that was to quote unquote legally adopt her kids, but it's because he loved Robin more. And we know that, okay? So Usman obviously could not, well, obviously he would not marry. He can't obviously marry. Whether he thought that he could marry a second wife, be an American woman that was just younger, now he knows he can't do that. It's like, could he just like get a spiritual union with somebody? Like, never talk about it? Because you can't outlaw having kids outside of your marriage. He can have kids outside of his marriage, you know? What he couldn't do is just like marry some other lady and then try and petition her to come, which is basically what happened. Was that Love in Paradise? What happened between Frankie, remember Frankie and Ricky and there was one of those couples, it was like a throuple. It was a guy and two girls. And like what their story was crazy, that like the guy was going to bring over one girl and petition to have her be like, his 90-day fiance. And then somehow later on, they were going to try and get the other girl to come on and be like, you can't petition to have two fiancés or two wives. The wife can't petition to have another one. This doesn't make any goddamn sense. I don't understand why people are dumb. Okay. Not the people who don't live in America, but the Americans. Okay. People just have like wishful thinking. People just want whatever they want to have happen be like something that could happen. So at the end of this lawyer conversation, they're kind of dejected with the weight of the reality, which is that what they want. It doesn't sound so easy, and they have to pack for her to leave. And yeah, she's just like, I'm trying really hard not to cry. Just, I just miss you so much, but I'm not around you. I just love being around you, And Usman's like, I know, babe. I love being around you, you know that. I just feel we had so much drama. I don't want you to remember just the drama. I want you to remember the good times too, And he's like, all right, it's okay. And she's like, and the yammy, which is my favorite part. He's like, I don't know why I'm making her son New York. He just like, I want to know. Okay, so basically, he's just let me say this. I want to know what he plans to do the night that she's going to leave. Like, I feel like life just gets back to like what life is. Like, all his roommates come back. They're like, where'd they been the whole time? Like, what did he tell them about Kimberly? Like, what do they think about her? Like, I think this whole time, it just like Usman, this whole season has been in a play, and he's like, oh, the play's almost over. When they go to the airport, she cries, and he like rubs his eyes, but like they're not wet. He just rubs them. Oh. He's just silent. I don't know. Okay, my last Kupal is Libby and Andre. Oh God, I just like, this is kind of like one like Yar and Jovi, like I don't want to talk about them as much or whatever. It's just like dumb, which is Becky and Buki had a shoot date, and we get to see one of Becky and Buki's shoot date where they had a call time. Their call time was like 7 a.m. and they were like 4th and 5th on the list. Then with Andre, Libby, Ellie. Ellie's not on the scene, but that since her parents are there, she's probably off camera sleeping. And then Becky and then Buki. That's the list. And Becky and Buki come. They look like they came together, but Becky's dressed like in like a oversized shirt and high-waisted jeans. The jeans look cute. I want to see if they were straight leg or like skinny because, you know, straight leg is so in. I'm like looking at jeans everywhere I go. Every time I'm just like, what kind of jeans can I just like look good in? And just like, I don't know what to do. Skinny jeans are out, and I need to like find a pair of jeans that make me feel like powerful and attractive and flattering in them. And it feels like every 3 to 5 years, I have to buy jeans. Like every 3 to 5 years. I feel like you buy maybe 1 or 2 pairs. Yeah, I just feel like I buy jeans every 3 to 5 years, you know? And sometimes a pair will come up here and there if it's like on sale or something, but like it's the 3 to 5 years where I need a pair of jeans for a reason. Like all of my jeans are skinny, all of them. I have charcoal gray ones that are skinny. I have button-up black ones that are skinny. I have I have just like zip-up black jeans. I have like, remember the step down hems that were in? I have like acid wash. You know, like I just have so many skinny jeans. I just like need a pair of like boyfriend cut or straight cut, not boot cut, but like maybe like a high waist or one of those waists that are like really, really like kind of like loose, and somehow like I build a proportionate outfit with such jeans, like through maybe having like a tighter, more form-fitting top, I guess is how I do it. But then also I feel like I'm afraid of thinking about how to buy jeans where the straight leg doesn't make me feel like my thigh looks wide. God, I'm like so scared. It's the worst. Free balling is so nice. TMI. Oh my God. No, I barely ever wear underwear at night. Oh, Good American. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I was gonna look at Adigo or whatever, or Levi's, but I do have, I have at least 2 pairs of Good American jeans right now. I haven't tried to get the Good American straight ones yet, but I know that Chloe's been rocking them, so maybe I should just look because, now Khloe Kardashian is very, very skinny now because her and Kim are taking that like Ozempics shots. You know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about. And so, but Chloe and I, our natural bodies probably are somewhat similar. By the way, I said this, I think, on the podcast, but I want to talk about this on my channel. Any of my lovely ladies, anyone ever heard of the kibbe? Sounds like a Lebanese food. Kibba, kibbe body type for dressing, like your kibbe body type style, maybe it's body style for dressing. And it basically goes over your features in such a way to talk about what styles could look good in like it's like body positive. It isn't like all the types of bodies are great, you know, like nothing is better than the other, you know, and like every style and body style has like models and actresses that like can be considered an example of that style or type, you know, like in such a way. If you know what I'm talking about, great. If not, look it up. KIBB. I think it's, I don't know if this interests you. I just got into it, and I'm soft dramatic. KIBBE body type test. The kibbe body type test. Dramatics, naturals, classics, romantics, and gamines. But it looks something like, no, kibbe body style, yin, yang. Okay, so have you seen the video showing you how Hollywood costumers use the kibbe? It's a science. Oh my God. Wait, I want to talk to you about the shot. I started the shot too. I want to talk about the shot. Okay, I got to go back to this, but I'll talk about the shot afterward. Or, you know what? I know that you're a Patreon. I'm going to reach out to you about the shot. If you allow me to, I will reach out to you. If you talk about it with me. You tell me if you want to. But I want to talk about it with you if you want to talk about it. But yeah, the body type thing is very interesting, and I'm soft dramatic. I've been doing the shots too. Oh my god. Oh my god. I know why I'm only thinking about that is because I just started with a nutritionist, and the person told me about the shots, and I was like, should I do it? Lost 20 pounds in 12 weeks. Do you have any do you have any adverse reactions? I'm worried about GERD. I have acid reflux. GERD is such a horrible word. It sounds like there was something that Benjamin Franklin had, gout. Do you ever remember like learning about gout? GERD always reminds me of gout. GERD is disgusting. It's like acid reflux. Gout's not great either. But yeah, I kind of think about. I want to know if the shots are gonna might be something for me. Um, it just makes me tired the day after I take the shot, but everybody seems to be different. Huh. I'm married 40 years, so I'm gonna be a brat. Oh yeah, I probably won't be ever married again because I'm such a brat. He wants everyone to ostracize Charlie, even the mom. What are the shots? Please tell. It's called Ozempic. Well, that's a brand version. Oh, Paula says she's taking Mounjaro. I don't know if I said that right. Okay. Anyway, so what are we talking about? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People don't talk about. Okay, so they all meet at this like sweet spot, honey, where it's like, they have just like probably like gluten-free muffins and stuff like that. And I told you what Becky's wearing. Buki looks like she just came from like Pilates class or whatever. And they're there to meet up. Now, there is no reason for Andre to be there. Like, and I mean that because Andre already hates these women. So why is he there? If he doesn't want to be around them and he's constantly complaining about them, then why wouldn't he just allow his wife to go hang out with his sisters? Because she's already hung out with her sisters once. Now, it might be that he's like, oh, they try and influence her or try and make her think some way. But then that makes me feel like, oh, I have an extra. Oh. Yes, I want it. I want it. Oh God, what'd you say? I get super nauseous. That's what I've heard sometimes, but I'm already a dress size down after 6 weeks. God damn it. Wow, what a nightmare. Do you know that ongoing acid reflux can be deadly? It eats the esophagus. I have to go. I know I have to go get an endoscopy and like figure it out. I'm so not happy about it. I'm already on prescription. So when I started having that problem, now I'm on prescription Pepcid. I can't talk. Prescription Pepcid. So, and I've severely changed my diet. Like I'm not having tomatoes as much, and onions are a little harder, but I try not to eat as many onions or like now I can't have like well spiced things. And making sure I don't lay down after I eat and stopping eating before I go to bed at night. So anyway, let's move on from my life. But I do want to talk to you guys about Ozempic. So I can talk about that also in Vanity Fair. So, okay, moving on with my life. Okay. Another reason why it's confusing that he went is because he thinks that they're going to just show up and apologize for having not immediately texted them after they opened their phone, opened up their Instagram, and saw that they had posted about their new baby. So because they opened their Instagram, saw that they had posted about their new baby, and then didn't immediately text them and be like, oh my God, congratulations. Andre says that he, quote unquote, feels like he's going to wipe his ass with their sorries. The sorries that are not going to even come. Now, we know something, which is Libby's wrong. Libby has many different group texts on her phone at all different times. And there's definitely a group text, honey, with those sisters and her. So there is not one reason on God's green earth why she couldn't have been like voice note, hey guys, Prags, can you believe? We'll know more when I know more. You really don't need the last part. Send. Or just emoji, pregnant woman. Winky face. That's all she had to do. Then she would have gotten her like barrage of inauthentic congratulations from her like family members. Andre, if you don't like Libby's family, that's fine. But you unfortunately already took from Libby's family, meaning like Chuck. So you already got in. And if you're gonna be in the bed, you're gonna you can't just like make the bed and you're gonna lay in it or whatever. Wait, if you make the bed, lay in it. No. You made your bed, now lie in it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, too. Because you don't make a bed to lie in it. It should be like, well, you own a bed, you better make it. Or the only person that's going to always be sleeping in a messy bed is going to be you. So, yeah, doesn't that make more sense? You made your bed, now lie in it. Oh. We'll have to unmake it then because it's made up. It should be like, you made your bed, now go about your day. Okay, I'll really let this go. So Andre is just, there, honey, and they're just like going back and forth over the fact that they are like being awkward with each other. They're like not going back. They're like, at first they're very awkward because they're not saying anything. And then they're like, well, why are we all here? And like, they're like, yeah, specifically you, Andre, why are you here? And he's like, I just think they're all followers, and he pretty much admits that he and Libby hold on to the grudge that the sisters went to Pam's birthday, the one that Pam invited her son to. And the same birthday that Pam and Libby and the sisters told Pam at first they weren't going to go to, they went to. So they changed their mind. Now, here's the thing. You can't be mad at someone for making a choice for themselves. You're not having a party you didn't invite that you're not inviting Charlie to. You can't tell people how to live their lives. You don't have to go to the party. You didn't. Neither one of you did. Now you both made a decision to both come to this sister at like a bakery coffee house lunch, which seems like Andre shouldn't be there. And I also feel like, Andre, can't you just go back to work? Because as Andre's going to say in 2 seconds, he made $750,000 last year. You effing broke ass, whatever. To Buki is who he yells at. So like, why are you wasting your money earning time and breath with your wife's sisters? Let your wife deal with her sisters. I don't, unless the real thing is happening, which of course is that everything is fake and this is all TV. And, he made $750,000 not in real estate last year, but in Cameo. And the way they did that is they're a never ending barrage of family time on TV that we're forced to watch, laying plans for an ultimate family day Luby. Luby. And Andre calls them sheep, but he wants to be the shepherd and wants them to follow him. Yeah. He's only mad because he feels like Charlie has won, and Charlie kind of has. And here's the thing. It was if Andre had played his cards right, and if he was a little more charming and a little probably more nefarious and probably more manipulative than him and a little smarter, it would have been really easy to get everyone on his side in the family, because initially Charlie was just so horrible, but Andre would yell back and things. So, and would allow things come to fisticuffs. And yells at the sisters. So the sisters taking their brother's side doesn't do anything good for them. Because then if Becky and Buki go against their mother and go against Charlie, they already are never going to be on the same side as Andre, so they're alone. This is like Game of Thrones style. So like, why would they go against the numbers? Becky and Buki still have Charlie and still have Pam on their sides. That's 4. Meaning that Libby and Andre have 1, the dad. Now, the dad's a good one to have on their side because the dad has the money. And, all Megan has are the toesies. I just like, I would like to know, Megan and Charlie are so trashy. They're just the trashiest. But in a kind of like one of those ways in which is like incredibly familiar. I feel like we know people like that. I mean, when I say like we see people like that kind of trash is a certain seeable one where if you are in a public place and you get a whiff or you get a sighting, it's a reactive kind of acknowledgement. Oh, yeah, yes. Mm. And why I like talking about their trashiness is again because it feels like they have no idea. I mean, like I don't think they know they're trashy. Like I feel like they in their mind think they're like not trashy at all. And I'm sure in their mind like look down on others. Like he is a tool, bro, bruh, douche personified. And her energy scares the shit out of me. Like she looks bananas. Like I can't imagine, like those people have kids. That's crazy. Like I feel like they're so toxic, but they found each other. They're happy. And I mean, at least it seems that way. It's crazy how people come together and it's crazy how things are, I mean, at some point I have to understand that like some part of their life is functional because I assume so. At some part of their life is functional. Isn't that crazy to think? Like that woman takes care of her children. Like she cooks for them and or cleans for them and or like prepares lunches for them. Like I don't know if she goes full like bento box, but maybe. They're aggressively trashy. Yes. And Pam is going to go to lunch with like a fancy Louis Vuitton purse, This is why you can't buy Louis Vuitton anymore. It's just a little too... Anyone can have one. Or a fake version of one. That's what's sad about them. Mouth breathers. Oh, God. Yes. Well, they're a bunch of flim-flam folks running real estate cons and flipping dumps. I mean, that is the melodic nature of that comment. They're a bunch of flim-flam folks. I want to say folks. They're a bunch of flim-flam folks running real estate cons and flipping dumps. Because that feels like a 1920s like street guy with like, hey, come here. Let me tell you about the Ashberries, eh? They're a bunch of flim-flam folks running real estate cons and flipping dumps. But don't tell them you heard them from me. And he like goes behind the alley and you're like, you drop a nickel because you're gonna come back and get the nickel. Like it feels like that. It makes me so happy. Yes, please go ahead and like this video. When he goes off on Buki over how much money he made last year in comparison to her, talk about trash. Now we're going to say something right now. Rich people don't talk about how much money they make. They don't talk about how much money they make. If you are secure about something, you don't talk about it. Like a lot. If you have to talk about how much money you make, it's like because you're in a lawyer's office and like someone's asking you and no one want to say it. You're like, 750,000. You're just like, it's like to yell it out is so gauche. It's just like there's something about one of his narratives is just that Libby's family is just a bunch of freeloading, lazy American like nepo babies, and that some part of his thing with Chuck is that he has like a work ethic. And we were led to believe in the very beginning that meant that he would come to construction sites like early in the morning and like lift wood until the work was done. Now, him making $750,000 last year, again, has a lot to do with the fact that he's on this show. It can't possibly not. Because if you were making $750,000 in real estate a year, not a lot of your time could be spent like social mediaing up a storm and like spending so much time yelling at your sister-in-laws, like at coffee houses. It's like one of those coffee houses that had like a back patio with like an Aerostream or something, like they're going to go back there on a hot day and order lemonade from like one of those like Aerobus things. I don't know. God bless. I wanted to know, like, I wouldn't mind seeing like Becky and Buki like at a Pilates class or like doing like hot yoga. Like, I actually would like to see what their day, like life is, like something more to me says specifically Becky's over Buki's, because something about Buki makes me feel like she tries to put on that she's a little more like ridiculous and, what's the word? I think that Jen is normal. I think she lives like a more normal life. And I think that she is trying to give us what she and maybe Becky think we want to see as the audience, while still hiding the things that we don't want to see, which is like who they actually are. Just like Chris and Dad, they are wealthy. It presents classy, but Chuck Clan screams Burlington Coat Factory and TJ Maxx. I want to know more about what happened between Pam and Chuck. Like, how long have they been divorced? When they get divorced? How long was the divorce? Like, who took whose side? Did one of them cheat on the other? Yeah, I had my captions. They said 750. They said 750. I made $750,000. You fucking broke ass. To Buki. And I was like, are you saying it also to Becky? It was so interesting. It's just like so horrible. And then so anyway, as he's yelling at Buki, Becky is like looking down, and then she like just absolutely freaks out and goes at Andre, like lunges at him, like tries to like swat at him, like, and then quickly is like, I'm so sorry I did that. It's just out of character. It's just, it brought back memories of seeing my sister like at the high school lockers, like being bullied. And we're like, oh, okay. I wanted to be like, Buki, can you elaborate on that? Was it Buki you saw? Was it Libby? Which one of your sisters got horribly mean girled? I don't know. So then after that, Becky like breaks down and she's like, you don't know what it did to me when I saw that social media post of we are expecting a baby with a bunch of like, I don't know, like Romania underneath it. I couldn't understand it. You don't know what it did to me. It made me feel like I didn't know who you were. I just looked at that and I was like, oh, it's done. I don't know those people. I felt very disconnected. I felt like I didn't know who you were. You were strangers. I freaked out. Like one of those horror films. I just slid down the wall. Have you noticing? Like, what are the obvious reactions? Like, I feel like, okay, I don't have sisters, but if I was pregnant and I did a social media post announcing my pregnancy, if Monique saw, she would text me, or Kristen, I think they would text me right away and be like, what, bitch? What? You're pregnant? You're not, what? Is this real? Is this real? Are you been hacked? Something like that. Libby was wrong. Libby was wrong not to tell her sisters, because there's been times in which she's gotten help from her sisters in the past. And so I think that to not like share family news like that is like telling, especially then to be mad at them after you didn't tell them that they didn't congratulate you makes no sense. It makes truly like it's not right thinking. It's disordered thinking. It's also disordered thinking that he would come to this meeting. Libby has to stand up for herself and her family in a way where I'm not saying that she goes against Andre and say that her family is okay. Instead of being like, hey, babe, you know what? You're right. My family has a lot of challenges. And I know how taxing it is for you, and it's not worked. So I'm going to be a big girl, put my big girl pants on, and I'm going to go take care of it, which is show her family that he doesn't have to be there, but she still holds her own, and not let her family overtalk her of anything that she wants, maintains, what her and Andre ultimately want, whatever their stance is on something. I don't mind like seeing what Andre has built for himself in a social way outside of her family. Like, remember how Suelu like started playing volleyball at some point? Like, does Andre do anything? Bowling? Golf? You play golf ever? Who's he hangs out with? Like, what are his dudes that he like goes and works out? Like, how does he make his 750,000? Can we watch that a little more? Like, how did he afford the new house? We would love to see it. I mean, we know it. It's the cameo, but I mean, can you give us something? Can you? Because at the end of the day, it seems like TLC has certain sensitivity chips missing. It's not fun to watch a man yell at a woman or yell at women. I personally have like a sensitivity where I even want men to like, I don't want men to argue with women. It makes no sense for me. It's just like, you should be arguing with a woman, period. You should not be like raising your voice to a woman, like it makes it never. This is any conversation about them not texting your wife is conversation between them and your wife, who's also their sister. It's not right for him to be there. And also, like, who's taking care of the baby? Go take care of that baby, honey. You can't just be like popping out for like coffee all the time. Okay. Andre and Ronald are both shouters. That's funny. That's true. She follow the lead with her family. Yes. OnlyFans. Who's charging for Cameo $1,000? But yeah, they do OnlyFans. You know what? There were some lingerie pictures of Libby that came out through like one of the discourses. So I feel like they were doing OnlyFans for like a hot second. I don't know if they still do. And of course, I don't know the nature of their OnlyFans, like how what explicit it was. Oh, my loves. Oh, dog trainer, you gotta go. So do I. You guys, what a beautiful time we've spent together. An hour and almost 40 minutes of, pure bliss, just talking about this dumb show, talking longer about the show than the actual show's length. Can you believe it? And I didn't even talk about two couples that were on the episode. Wow, guys, wow. Wasn't it Charlie's wife who was doing like foot stuff and that's how she got everyone else involved with it? Yes, Heather, yes. Yes, yes it was. Yes, yes it was. Wow, just put the chili on to boil before I simmer for 30 to 4 minutes. Ooh. She just okay, so oh, it's late there, babe. You just put the chili on, you're going to let it simmer. Wow, the chili. It's like 9:45 there. So your chili, you're not going to be like tasting chili until like 10:40. Single Life season 3 finale tonight. Yes, I haven't watched all of it. Well, I need some more time. I have watched some, but I had to do some stuff for my dad. And so I just have so much to watch. But I did make some more leeway. Okay. But I'm not completely up to speed yet. But I'm excited about Single Life, and you guys, you're loving Single Life too, right? Mickey does. She footed her way to 70K. Wow, footed her way, honey. You know, that's like another like gives whatever like different life to like who's footing the bill. Well, who's footing the bill? Anyone, honey, who's making that much money on OnlyFans? You know what I thought about? Because you know, I messed up. I like rolled my ankle, you know, and I like stubbed another toe. I wonder what happens when you're like only foot model and you like do anything, like you stub a toe, or you like drop something on your toe, you like, you know, like yeah, I rolled my ankle, so like my ankle is like the double size of a normal ankle. Looks crazy. I don't know. You just be like, well, occupational hazard. They're taking some time off, you know. Megan said 75,000. God bless her. You know, it's like I would say I would do it, but like I would rather just be like an Amazon influencing shopper than like an OnlyFans person. Both of those would require me to do a lot of early work and try and get people to follow me, you know? The OnlyFans, I don't know. Because the other thing about OnlyFans is that you make money not just by people like doing whatever like monthly subscription, but whatever ends up happening in the messages and like requests, which I think is like where you truly make your money, which is like where people will be like, look, I'll pay you $500 if you like do a picture of your feet with a French foot manicure. I love French foot manicures. And you'd be like, oh my God. Okay, well, you know what? It's going to be $750. No, I truly hate the look of my toes with French tips. So if you require that, it'll actually be $750. 500, 750, 500 to do it. 750 for the manicure the like perfect pedicure and all of the like treatments that I'm doing, like the paraffin wax and the massage to get it done. And then 150, that's also the tip and everything, for an immediate change back to whatever I want. And when it's like this kind of weather, like mostly I'm always like, I was like thinking like, what do I want for like the holidays and stuff? And I really just like OPI, like Coastal Sanctuary, like kind of like that, like just like ivory sweater looking color on my toes is what I've been rocking. And then I followed this Coco Chanel nail ambassador named Bettina Goldstein. And she showed this green chrome the other day on top of black. So the black colored polish underneath is giving it this just like really gorgeous emerald green. This is like another just picture of it. I just think it's so pretty. But the only thing about it is in Chrome, Chrome has been happening for years, so it's not a new thing. And the thing about it is I know that very, very soon the green would start to chip. You would see the black lacquer underneath. Have you guys done Chrome? You gotta, if you do it, which is always fun to do, you have to be really careful to try and pick, if you want something that's gonna last, a color like white or something underneath, and then just do like a unicorn kind of like chrome over it, and then it'll look kind of like a snow. And that will actually last longer than what I just showed you, because if the chrome on top of the white starts to chip, you really can't tell. You still see the white, as opposed to this one with the green chips, you see black underneath, which is bananas. Hi, Chris. I moved from California to Portugal 8 months ago and have been missing you live. Tonight I got lucky enough to catch you live at 3:49 a.m. Oh, wow, 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 wow. First of all, thank you so much for being here. Why are you up? Are you tired? Are you not sleeping well? How's Portugal? Are you around Lisbon? My goodness gracious, that's amazing. How are you doing there? I remember seeing your name a lot. It's been a minute. I'm happy to see you, though. Wow. That sounds lovely. Okay, I've been asked for my feet to be photographed at an art studio showing, but I was headed out the cottage. Would pay well. You can put a ruler on an angle with my toes. You can put a ruler on an angle. Oh, so is that like, that's Greek or like kind of feet? Yeah. Because there's like talk about, like, remember I was talking about the could be body types. There's this other kind of like foot types, Egyptian, Roman, or Grecian feet or whatever. I think Egyptian's the kind that has like the bigger toes, the biggest toe, then it goes like descending order. I have Roman feet, which is then kind of like my first three big toes are somewhat similar, like 1, 2, 3, and then it just kind of like descends the fourth and fifth a little bit. They look like Fred. I also have big feet. I have huge feet. I have size 11 feet. They're like Fred Flintstone. Fred Flintstone feet. Did I finish? I don't want to. So after Becky, says that, like, she saw the picture and her whole world fucking, like, broke down. She cries. Then Libby has to go over and, like, hug her. And then everything is kind of, like, okay, even though Andre, like, it feels like for someone like Andre who realizes that his whole world can be torn asunder by just like someone calling and telling customs that they don't want this person in. And you think that if he like found that out, that he would try and be, I don't know, extra nice to people just for like a couple extra months until he gets that green card. But he always comes in too hot, literally, especially if his choice has not come at all. That's it. Don't come in hot if your choice was also just to not come at all. Don't be there, My second toe is as long as my big toe. Any meaning there? Yeah, that's like a normal thing, I think. Types of feet. Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Celtic, Germanic, peasant, square, stretched, and simian. Egyptian foot, Roman foot, Greek foot. So yeah. All right, my loves, we're going to do our closing rituals together and, just like start our week real good. I'm so thankful that you guys are here. I'm so happy that you would even just spend any time with me, much less an hour and 50 minutes, especially on a holiday week. I'm sorry that my posts have been all over the place, but I'm really happy that it's only Monday and I got this one. I got this one done. However, I wish I was doing more shows so I could just I wish I had like a live with you guys like 3 times a week. That would make me so happy. I don't know. From my lips to God's ears. So let's do our housekeeping. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. This episode we've just talked about will be an episode for Docu-Sweeties, and not yet, though. We have to wait a little bit, some fine-tuning editing, and that will be available for you sometime this week, hopefully, within the next maybe like 48 hours. The other part of that is we also have Love During Lockup, which the same time frame. We have the new episode of that will also be available as an episode of our podcast in a couple of hours. And we also have our Patreon, which if you want to see anything right away and you just like cannot wait, that exists at patreon.com/DocuSweeties. And if you are a Patreon and you're here tonight, thank you so much. It means the world to us to like be able to like start our community for our podcasts, separate from our YouTube community, but also just like be able to have like a set of hardcore OG producing subscribers that like help us produce it, you know. So it means a lot to us, and we're so thankful. We have more content coming. So that's on the Patreon already. And we also have, again, Wa's apartment tour, which is on the Patreon, which is kind of fun. You can see her doing her thing. And I love her so much. I hope her chili turns out good. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to do our breath. Of course, if you want to talk to me, you can, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. I have a private Facebook group, Vanity Farah. If we talk tonight about anything you want to bring up, we can. I know we were talking about the diet shots. I don't know a lot about those diet shots. I haven't done them yet or whatever. I just want to know more, which is why if you have any information, I'm excited to hear it from you. Hardcore OG fans. So let's do our breath, my loves. We're going to do our rehearsal breath, and we're going to breathe all together, and we're going to like feel really grounded in this week of Thanksgiving for us Americans. The week that we supposedly get together with our loved ones. Maybe it's a Friendsgiving, maybe it's a family situation where we break bread, we eat this weird specific meal, but no one ever eats throughout the whole year because no one ever would want to eat it. But the same feelings of like gratitude and thankfulness should be like what's really on the plate. So, and I think it's important to like start the idea of getting into a mindful place of gratitude as early on as you can for the holiday season, because I think it's one of the things that actually makes the holiday season better. If you could open up your heart and mind to this feeling of like comfort, warmth, love, forgiveness, gentleness, and gratitude, all the other things that make the holidays challenging will hopefully not layer upon layer themselves already from a agitated, heightened place. But trying to enter the season with these feelings of gratitude and warmth will hopefully lessen the reactivity you might have if one of the challenges perks up or rears its ugly head, you know? It's much easier to go to a angry place or an upset or anxious place if you're already there or you already are showing the signs. It's much harder to get yourself to that place if you are so far entrenched in the opposite, a feeling of like comfort, security. And I think that it's comforting to know that we are blessed or we have privilege or that we are safe. It's a comfort to know that we have things to be grateful for, the roof over our heads and the food that we eat and our friends and stuff. So it was with the gratitude, let's just like opening our mind and our heart to this feeling of gratitude so that we really are just taking care of ourselves, but in that way, taking care of ourselves, other people, of making sure our mindset and our heart is open for this season. So I'm obviously grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for commenting or liking this video or you know, spending any sort of time or energy showing me that you're present, you know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. I just like, I can feel it. It makes my heart sing. Okay. Okay, here we go. Exhaling. And inhaling. This is the rehearsal. And out. Real breath in. in, taking in everything that we need for this week. And letting it out, everything out we don't need, honey, letting it out. Wow. We've been talking for almost 2 hours about this show. Thank you so much for everyone listening to the replay. When you're listening to the replay, I love you guys so much. I want to wish you guys again happy Thanksgiving wherever you are, and I hope you're around your friends or you're there for your chosen family and or your family and any of them that are healthy people that you can be around. If you do have healthy family members that you can be around, what a blessing and what a privilege. Not everyone has those, you know. Grateful for like all the food that we're going to eat, and I hope to God that I don't eat too much or I get that Ozempic. Just kidding, joking, just kidding. It's okay to eat, and that's not, I'm going to eat, don't worry. I love you guys. I will talk to you later. Hi, Renee. I am. I'm sorry that I'm leaving, but I love you guys. Okay, I love you. Have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Take care of yourselves. Love one another. Stand up for what you believe. Make art. Bye.